You are listening to the daily homily for Magdala in the Holy Land.
Jesus and his disciples went into the region of Judea, where he spent some time with them baptizing. John was also baptizing in Aenon near Salem, because there was an abundance of water there, and people came to be baptized, for John had not yet been imprisoned. Now a dispute arose between the disciples of John and a Jew about ceremonial washings. So they came to John and said to him, "Rabbi, the one who was with you across the Jordan, to whom you testified, here he is baptizing, and everyone is coming to him." John answered, "No one can receive anything except what was given from heaven. You yourselves can testify that I said that I am not the Christ, but that I was sent before him. The one who has the bride is the bridegroom. The best man who stands and listens for him rejoices greatly at the bridegroom's voice. So this joy of mine has been complete. He must increase, I must decrease." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Jealousy and envy bring us lots of headaches if we let them rampage in our interior. And nobody is free from this type of rocking of the boat. And we can have really stormy seas if envy and jealousy are at the helm. And we need that interior peace. I find the readings today very interesting in the connection just of a couple of words. And the word in the letter of St. John, which is dealing also about the problem of sin and the will not to sin, yet the falling into sin, is a very wonderful concept, begotten by God. Anyone begotten by God. And then it says again, the one begotten by God. Begotten by God, what does that mean? And then again in John's prologue of the Gospel, he speaks about those who are becoming children of God, who are begotten by God, not by human desire, not by human flesh, not by human decision and power, but from God, those who are born of God, begotten of God. And in the spiritual life, we are constantly offered a path that's from God. We're also offered many temptations. At this moment when John the Baptist receives these questioning disciples, he could be tempted to jealousy. He wants to keep the prominence he had in his life, or he could be envious of Jesus, who is growing in importance. But he has a reality check. Who am I? I am assigned a role in providence that I have to fulfill. Jesus is not fulfilling my role. I'm not fulfilling Jesus' role or any of my disciples' roles. Each one has their own role. Each one before God has their own place in history and time. And to discover that and to grow to a maturity of peace in that, because we're begotten by God. We don't design our own identity. We're given our identity as children made in the image and likeness of God. And we didn't design the talents we were given. We can develop them, or we can leave them undeveloped. And so each of us is given a marvelous place in humanity, in the history of humanity, because nobody is a photocopy of another. And in that sense, we also have a responsibility to fill our role. And John the Baptist says, my joy has been made complete. His role has been fulfilled. It will finally be completed in his martyrdom. And Jesus' role will also be fulfilled, also in a martyrdom on Calvary. The willingness to fulfill the role and to not try to have the role of the other and to be aware of the responsibility we have to fulfill our role is a great quality. And then that really hangs from, depends from, is fed by our relationship with God. That we're not operating according to our own plans and our own goals, independent of anything else, our own desires, our own, what we covet, what we want to enjoy. We are given great liberty, but also our liberty is to choose God, to choose life. We have that great question at the end of Deuteronomy when Moses is presenting to the people, choose life or choose death. Separation from God is sin, and it leads to death. And choosing God is life. But then we have to decrease in order to do that, because if we have a big ego, it needs resizing, readjustment. It won't fit into God's plan. And we all are tainted with that stroke of envy, of pride. And these are truly coming from our I that's created by God, but it's deformed by sin. That's the legacy we have. We're not completely purified, perfected, and we're going to be struggling with that. And that's part of the role that we have in our work of salvation, our work of redemption. The God who created us without us will not redeem us without us. We are called to say yes. We are called to participate. And the biggest battle we have is not battles with enemies outside of us, it's with ourselves. And the biggest conquest we have to accomplish is to be able to say, let it be done to me according to your word. Let me fill the role you have given to me. Help me to fulfill the role you've given to me. And then my life will be a blessing for everybody around me. And so we can reach a great peace when we're listening to God and allowing him to form us, to shape us, to guide us, to lead us, to endow us, to bless us with his grace. And we don't have anything to be afraid for. We don't have anything to apologize. We just go forward. And no matter what the circumstances are around us, the only thing that matters is how we respond to them with God's grace.
Thank you for joining us today. If you want to learn more about Magdala, follow us on YouTube and on Facebook.